Coach, a great weekend of hockey this past weekend, Michigan Tech in town. You lose on Friday night, but then get the shootout win on Saturday. Can I get just your thoughts from that weekend, where you want to see improvement, and what you liked from the two games against Tech?
Yeah, well, early the improvement I thought had to happen after Friday night's game. I thought our goaltender Noah Giesbrecht played really well. He was solid. He made a lot of really good saves. On Saturday, but our forwards that day, I thought were not on game. They weren't on task. They didn't play hard enough to win against a team of Tech's abilities. Michigan Tech's a really good hockey team, and we didn't play hard enough up front to really get more than 3 scoring chances the whole night. I thought Saturday we had more of a team game, and I thought as the game went on, we got stronger and stronger and played better. I thought the forwards came out and I give them a lot of credit because it was a tough morning for them on Saturday morning, but they came out and they showed what they can do. And obviously we tied it late, and it was a nice finish to the game, winning it in a shootout. But even regardless, it would have been a night what I would have felt, even if we hadn't scored the tying goal. We lost 3-2. You never want to lose, but that was the kind of game I thought we played where. I'm not grading it necessarily always on the results now. We're in the results business, but that would have been a game I would have had a good smell to me coming out of it, even if we wouldn't have been able to tie it. It was a completely different feel to it, and I felt like the forwards were pulling their weight. I thought they played really hard, and a lot of times you do that, good things happen for you. Where Friday night, even though we pulled the goalie, we could have easily tied it that night too. We didn't work hard enough all game. It didn't have that feel, like it did on Saturday. So, anyways, the other thing, observation on the game was I thought the first 10 minutes of that game was as good as 10 minutes of hockey as two teams have played. I've been involved with it for a long time. I thought the action went up and down the rink, and the crowd was great. There was a lot of nice. It was good. We had a lot of Tech fans. Obviously, we had a lot of Ferris fans, and so the building had a electricity to it. And I think that helped elevate that game. And it was two pretty good teams out there. So that first 10 minutes, the pace of that game and the way the guys went at it, that was good hockey. It really was. So all in all, good weekend. We only got 2 out of 6 points, so we got to, and ideally you're coming away with half the points or more. So, but all in all, it ended on a really good note, and hopefully that'll carry forward to this weekend.
You credited Noah for his play on Friday, but then Logan came in and played really well on Saturday also. How nice is it to have both those guys give you really good minutes in net?
Yeah, well, you know what, too, and I'd be remiss. First of all, I'm glad you caught that Logan played a really exceptional game on Saturday, too. He was dynamite, obviously, in the shootout, but he really played a strong game. But so did Patilla for Tech. I mean, I think over the weekend, we had a chance, the fans did, to observe 3 of the best goalies, not only in the conference, but in the country. I mean, that was some really good goaltending by all 3 goaltenders.
Minnesota State coming to town this weekend. This is a team that you guys played in Mankato earlier, took both games. What are you expecting to see from them as the Mavericks come to town this weekend?
They're a typical Maverick team. They're a really good hockey team. They're once again in the hunt for the conference title. Well coached, play hard. They're very much like Tech. They're not going to give you anything. Anything you get, you got to earn. So what's the recipe for success against them? Well, we're going to have to start in net. We'll need our goaltenders to play well for us. Our decoy's got to continue to play well. Our forwards, we need consistency of effort both nights. And then, we got to stay out of the box. They've got, I think, the number 1 power play in the conference, clipping along at a really high rate. So you got to be disciplined. And then I would like to see, if we can get a goal or 2 from our power play on the weekend, that would be helpful as well.
What's the mindset been like around the team, knowing that the CCHA is so competitive, so tight? You guys are right behind Bemidji, right in front of Northern, and it just so much is on the line with home ice for CCHA playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much on the line, and you always look ahead in the standings. At least I do. I never. People are coming up from behind too, but you look above. You say, okay, what do we need to do to get another spot up? But you look behind, and this talks to the strength of our conference. You're right, Northern Michigan, they're a good hockey club. And then you've got St. Thomas, and they're coming away with points every weekend, so you don't want to lose sight of them. So the league is really good right now. This is as good as this conference has been, going back to the CCHA the first time around, but going through the WCHA and now the CCHA, I think this is the strongest, in the last 8 years, conference has been top to bottom. And we've had good teams, Minnesota State, Michigan Tech, ourselves, in 2014 through 16. But I don't remember it being this difficult every single weekend. And you wonder, okay, when will the schedule lighten up? Well, it's not going to. It's just going to be, a grind every weekend. But that's good. It's bringing out the best in all the teams. It's good hockey right now. It really is.
Having swept Mankato or Minnesota State already, and then having them come to here, I'm imagining Minnesota State has some form of wanting to get a couple back against you. What are you going to be watching for this weekend to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, I'm sure they do, but I still think we owe them a little bit. They took care of us pretty good the last few years, so I don't think the slate's even yet. But yeah, they're going to come in. But the thing is, that was a while ago. And I'm sure Minnesota State, they'd like to get their revenge, but more importantly, they're chasing a league title, and they've got their own, so they're going to be focused on what they need to do. For us, it's kind of what I had mentioned earlier. We're going to need that good goaltending. We got to have it. We're getting it every weekend, but we need it again this weekend. We've got our defense have been playing well. They got to continue to play well. We need more out of our forwards, more consistency. We played great on Saturday, but we need that effort more often than once every third game. So we need good, consistent effort up front, and then we got to stay out of the box. We absolutely have to. Now they're going to get their penalties. They're going to get their power plays. Every weekend. Unless you can go through a whole weekend without a penalty, but that's not going to happen. What we have to do is avoid the unnecessary penalties. We took one again on Saturday that I wasn't pleased with. It was a good game, but we did take one there, and we want to get that down to zero unnecessary penalties. So that's the recipe, for us to have success, and now we got to go out and execute that plan.